Perfect.
Yo, what it do, everybody? This your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. This is episode 39 of the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. How everybody doing out there? Appreciate you guys joining me back here for another episode. You dig, man? Another week of Talk Pro Wrestling, you guys. Good morning, good night, good afternoon to all my listeners all across the world. Germany, Canada, the UK, all over the USA. Appreciate you guys keep on joining me back here for another episode. You dig, man? Appreciate it. If you guys new to the channel, man, wherever you listen to me, especially on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, man, I'm back here another week of Talk Pro Wrestling. We about to get all into it. This week's guest, you guys, is going to be another fun one, man. Another fun one for the books, you guys. He's an international independent pro wrestler, you guys. First up here, his name is Franco Varga, you guys, aka the Big Papi. He's from Harlem, New York, you guys. Yes, he's wrestled in 6 different countries. He wrestled for CCW, Impact, Titan Wrestling, Title Match Wrestling, just to name a few, you guys. Just to name a few. He's the American Lucha Champion also, you guys. He's joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, this week. Coming up later on in the podcast, you guys, my man Malcolm Beene, man, he's going to be joining me later on in the show, man. It's going to be fun, man. But like I was saying, my guest is joining me right now, my man Franco Varga. How's it going, bro?
Man, a heck of an introduction, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thank you for, joining me here on the podcast. I know you have a busy schedule and everything like that, so I appreciate it, man. And I tell everybody, man, when I do these interviews, man, it's just an honor, because I'm a big fan of wrestling. I grew up 9 years old. I started watching wrestling, so to be in a year and a month into podcasting and just keep connecting with guys such as yourself, man, is awesome. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm high on your list, so I appreciate that. And like you said, your listeners from all over the world, they might already know who I am. So it's a good fit.
Yeah. Some may know who you are, man, but for those who don't know who you are, man, just can you tell me something cool about yourself, man? Something, maybe, we don't know.
Yeah, well, like you already touched on it. When it comes to independent wrestling, most guys, it's a hard accolade to have. But yeah, I've wrestled in 6 different countries. I've been wrestling almost 9 years now. Excuse me. Man, I've been all over the world doing exactly what I love to do. So it's I'm living a life. I cannot complain.
Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. You living your life, man. Speaking of life, you just had a birthday, man. Happy belated birthday. How was it?
Thank you. Yeah, no, birthday was great. It was awesome. Maybe after 21, we probably stopped celebrating so crazy. So, no, I went out, did a few things, and then kind of, it was like, I think I was in bed by 10. So nothing too crazy.
That's what's up, my guy. That's what's up. Like what I was saying, international wrestler. You made your debut in the USA, in the States in 2012. So you've been doing your thing. Can you go over and just tell me about your journey, what it was like to become a pro wrestler, and how you got started?
Yeah, I actually got started through another guy he was just his dream. I stopped watching as a teenager pro wrestling. I didn't really, but I went with him to an independent wrestling tryout. I had no idea what independent wrestling was at the time. But I just wanted to go. I was doing a ton of working out for football and in the military at the time. I was in the military. Next thing you know, I got picked for to join the outfit there. This was in Colorado, and I got trained. Maybe like 9 months later, I'm wrestling in front of the WWE, which 9 years in now, I know it's not the typical thing, but after wrestling in front of the WWE legend and the guy at the time, Joe Briscoe, I got picked to go to Puerto Rico, a place where because I'm Puerto Rican, and just my grandmother and everybody, it was just legendary wrestlers. So after I got done, taking all my pictures with all the guys that my grandma watched as a kid, I got to go to Canada. I got to do the things on TV in the UK. Japan was a huge deal, for me and for any wrestler that gets to go. And then of course one of my favorites, Mexico, and then recently I got to go wrestle on TV in Australia, it was was a surreal experience, surreal. But I've been busy. Other than like an ankle injury, I've been pretty active every weekend, consistently for 9 years. So a lot of guys ask me like, you're over 10,000 followers, you're like an influencer now, but I don't feel that way. I remember that it takes time. All these things take time. I mean, all these doors don't open overnight. So patience kills deals, you know. So if you have patience, things will happen eventually.
Yeah.
And you gotta be decent. You got it.
Yeah, you're right about that. And you gotta have some patience, man. You say you from, Puerto Rican, how was it, making your transition over to the States? How was it? What was standing out different that was, to you?
Yeah, my parents, they're the ones who came over to the States. I grew up in the States. I grew up in Harlem, in the city, and just watching and just hearing stories of, back home it's like this or back home it's like that, and then finally actually going to where they grew up. But yeah, it is night and day. The things that you just have that they don't have, it's just it's crazy to think that they grew up without certain things, and this was at a time where, I mean, having a house phone was a luxury. So and that's like a phone in the house hooked up, like all that, let alone having internet and having all that. So I was very spoiled compared to them. So
okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Oh man, I think growing up, I bounced around a few guys, but ultimately growing up, definitely Vader. Vader was definitely the guy.
Yeah, Vader was the man. Vader was the man. I love the Vader bomb, man, because all the big guys, a lot of guys who I kind of, interviewed, not kind of, but been on the show and I interviewed and they were big guys. A lot of them say, man, Vader, was top one of their favorites. So that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my favorite was The Rock. I know he wasn't, big as like Vader though, but Vader was the man. You trained with legends. You spoke with it, Gerald Briscoe. You also trained with legends such as Terry Funk and Ricky Morton. What kind of advice? Yeah, what kind of advice did they, pass on along to you, as training?
Yeah, I think like one of my mentors in life, and just talk to him every month, at least once a month. Ron Simmons gave me some of the best advice that kind of really started making things click for me. And it was just get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Stop doubting yourself. Doubt, especially self-doubt, just kills this motivation and creativity and all that. So get out of your own way. That was one of the things that I got from him. Guys like Ricky actually just helped out at his school. He has a school in Tennessee that has a TV show, and I was the champion there for a few months. And I just recently learned this from him. It's just learn how to have fun, no matter what stage of your career you're in. I was getting a little frustrated being the guy that everybody turns to at this point in my career. Everybody turns to me for advice or things, or hey, what do you think of this? Hey, it gets a little. There's a lot of pressure with that, and it's like, don't forget to have fun, no matter what. So he's been in the business, for almost 40 years, and the guy still has fun every day doing it. So he's a good example to kind of not take every little thing so serious. So yeah, I think those are just great things that I should hope everyone aspiring or in the business already should take those examples and kind of run with that.
Okay, that's cool. You said it was kind of like maybe a little irritating. People kept coming up asking for advice. What was so I guess wrong about it or bad?
Just because I'm also there. I'm there for I haven't had my match yet. There's a lot of things to focus on while you're there for yourself, let alone being thrown into all these other situations of things that you can't control. You can control your match, you can control how good it is or how bad it is. But when you're distracted, there's a lot of distractions, and if you allow yourself to get easily distracted, because we're in the business of storytelling. This is what I tell everyone. Like we're just bodybuilders who storytell, in the ring. So if your story's off, or if you forget a certain thing about the story, or it's just anything's off about it, it's you're taking away the magic from the people who matter, the fans. So I try to be just 100% focused. So it can get frustrating when a lot of the younger wrestlers or lesser experienced wrestlers come up to you constantly and asking you for advice and things. Like, you have to break that focus to focus on something else for a second, and then give them that advice, and then refocus yourself on. So it's tough. It's tough. It's tough to say no. That's another that's another bit of advice I'd give anyone, is just learn how to say no.
Okay, yeah, you gotta learn how to say no. Tommaso Ciampa was another one. He's in WWE. How was it training with him?
Oh man, he's training with him for, gosh, it was just like, he proves why he belongs. And he's just like one of those guys that are naturally really, really good, but what you don't see is all the hours that he puts in, and he's one of those guys that, if I had to sum it up, he finds the time no matter what. He finds the time to be in the gym. He finds the time to get better in the ring. And he's a father. He's a husband. He's all that. He's a traveler like all of us. He's walking through the airports like I've definitely found myself doing a lot. And he finds the time, finds a gym, finds the time to do the things he knows. That's why he looks the way he looks, and he's in the position that he's in. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Great guy, man. He's doing good. What he's doing right now, man. And you're also doing good. I gotta ask you, man, what inspires you? What keeps you motivated?
The fans. It's just straight up the fans. I think I think at the end of the day, like there's a ton of different things that motivates everyone, money or women or all that. I'm okay. I'd want to be I want to be the story that everyone remembers when they go home. I want to be the match that they're talking about on the car ride home, and that's what motivates me. At the end of the day, the fans. I know everything else will come. As far as women go, I already have a 10 out of 10. So she's everything to me. So that's not going anywhere. So money will come over time, and I just want to be the one they remember. Because we all age, we all get old, and I'm going to be just another old wrestler at a wrestling convention signing pictures one day, just like all the legends. So I'll eventually be a legend, and I won't be able to do things in the ring. So I just want to focus and make those matches worth it for me, especially. You got to be able to look back on your life and say, man, I used to be somebody.
Hey, man, that's what's up. You mentioned the fans. That's what keeps you motivated. What's your thoughts on
100%.
the business right now, the wrestling business in general, without the wrestling fans right now?
Yeah, it's a little weird, and I said, I've been on a few TV wrestling programs, and without the fans, it's a little weird. But at the end of the day, you got to remember there's it's like Ricky Morton's school is an example. The ratings shot up when I was there from I think they went from like normally the normal 40,000 to 100,000. You got to remember that there's no fans there, but behind that lens, there's the unlimited potential of creating good stories and just kind of entertaining people. So yeah, it's difficult, but at the same time, the guys who are ready to continue on are showing that they've been ready, and the guys who haven't been, then it's easy to spot them. So it's a lot easier to spot the guys who aren't ready right now.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. With wrestling without fans, is it something that you just is it something that you just is it easier to work through? Is it basically what I'm saying? Because normally when you're wrestling, you don't really pay the fans too much of attention, even though you vibe off their energy. But is it much easier and flow through to work with with your opponent?
Oh no, I think the way I like to do things, the fans dictate a lot. As far as the energy of the match, the pace of the match, and so when there's no fans, it's a little hard to do. But that's why you have to put things together in a certain way where it makes that it makes sense to to do that. But yeah, I just think without fans, yeah, it feels weird in the beginning without, really, if you don't have the experience, it'll definitely feel weird. It'll throw you off. But I think, once we get fans back, or once we, regardless of what the future holds for fans in the arena, I think once you take your time and really focus on your craft, that it should get easier.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. But you guys, man, we're going to move on here on the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. You got a big show coming up February 28th, First Time Ever in Burlington, North Carolina. You're going to be working with Impact's Wrestling Suicide. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's a show on Title Match Network. It is, man, it's awesome. It's first time ever, all first time ever matchups. Title Match Network is huge. They got almost 2 million subscribers on their network alone. So this thing's going to be, watched for all over the world. If you're, it's filmed in North Carolina, but if you're anywhere on the planet, you can watch it. So it's super, it's really exciting to be part of it. For the first time, it's actually for an independent show, it's going to be produced in Spanish and in English for the first time. I've never seen that, done before. So, and then, Wrestling Suicide. It's a guy who comes around every few years. It's a name that comes around, every few years, maybe internationally, maybe, just Impact Wrestling. But for me to be able to do that, I think it was very special for me and for my fans. A lot of the fans are super excited for the match. So. And no pressure, right?
Yeah, no pressure, man. That's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see it. But also, man, you're an American Lucha champion right now. So I know you're proud of it. Like, what inspires you more to just walk around even with the belt, And also, who would you like to defend it against?
Yeah, no, I think any and all comers that the fans want to see, bring it, But yeah, the title means a lot, but I think at the end of the day, the title is just a way of showing the fans who the company believes in. And it's a huge honor. There hasn't been too many champions right now, so that's really cool to be on a short list of guys. But yeah, no, the title means a lot. It should mean a lot to the fans and to me. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Before I ain't gonna hold you too long, man. But lucha wrestling is real good. But do you feel as though lucha wrestling should be out there even more, exposed, have more time to show their talent in the ring?
Absolutely. I think, Lucha Libre is, I went to Mexico, I've done the Lucha Libre. It's a whole different style, let alone pro wrestling. It's a lot of people say, it's more sports entertainment, but Lucha Libre is a lot bigger outside of America, especially in Mexico. But outside of America, it's kind of a crime that it's not, a big style in the States. We have our own style, and I get that. But whenever you have a luchador that can mix both styles and be successful at it, like a Rey Mysterio, the sky's the limit for those guys because it's something special. It's always something different.
Yeah, you're right. It's always something different. Speaking of sports entertainment, what's your thoughts on sports entertainment? Let alone basically the WWE.
I think I consider myself a sports entertainer. The rest there hasn't been a real wrestler since the 1930s, in sports entertainment, but no, we're all sports entertainers, whether we like it or not. And the business is actually going, and it's going in a great direction. We're finally getting another competing force with AEW. WWE's always, even with the dip in the actual ratings, they're not worried about it. They ain't going nowhere. You saw the big sale to NBC, so it's huge for wrestling. So I'm not worried for wrestling at all, and I know eventually here, maybe this year, next year, I'm going to have to sign a contract and get serious with it and not really, stop having all the fun that I'm having. But I feel like this is one of the best times, I think I'm I'm right there in the rise of it. So it's an exciting time for me. It's an exciting time for wrestling.
Yeah, very exciting time. Very exciting time. Where you see yourself at in the next 5 years in pro wrestling?
Wow. I mean, there's no secret. I'm like it's well out there. Like WWE's, I think publicly twice now. I can't really say privately how much, but publicly twice has tried, to get me on there. But I consider myself stylistically a WWE guy for sure. So that's probably where I'm going to be in the next 5 years is with WWE, miserable like everybody else. No, I'm just kidding. But that's where I'll be. Is probably flying between my home in Florida and wherever hopefully we have fans back in the next 5 years. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I consider myself. That's probably where I'll be.
Okay, man. That's what's up, man. You got good goals, man. You going somewhere. You're going somewhere, and I believe in you, man. So I don't think you're gonna be miserable. Even though when guys get there,
no, I gotta stop. I gotta stop turning things down. I'm not 25 anymore. So yeah, no, I've already accomplished a lot. So I think it's probably time to really start thinking about this signing with somebody. So yeah. I was super against it for a long time. Still am. I'll be honest with you. I still am. But it's not just about me.
Yeah, I understand, man. I understand. You're going to do big. You're going to do big, man. But Franco, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling this week, man. It was an honor chatting with you. It was dope, man. Before you go, man, you got any questions for me? Anything you would like to say? Any shout outs?
No, I wanted to shout out Make-A-Wish as an organization. I got some cool thing. I just got some cool news. I don't want to, put it 100% out there, but just watch out for me and Make-A-Wish. And my social medias, you can find me at Franco Wrestles anywhere, all of them, even TikTok. It's crazy. I can't believe I still have one of those. And then
you having fun?
And then to make
TikTok?
it easy, just Frank. I thought I was gonna do a lot more TikToking than I did. I tried it, and I don't know. I'm trying to ease into it, so we'll see. And then of course, FrancoVarga.com just takes you to all my socials and merchandise and all that stuff. So keep it simple.
Okay, man. That's what's up, you guys, man. Head over, man, to Franco Wrestles, man. Hit the website, get some t-shirts, and if you're in your area, go check them out, man. But Franco, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, man. Thank you, man. You're gonna go far. You're gonna go far, man. You ain't gonna be miserable. So I appreciate it. It was an honor. It was a dope time chatting with you, my guy. And thank you for joining me here on the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Yo, Franco, man, dope time chatting with you, man, here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Man, that was dope. Really, really dope picking your brain, man. Happy belated birthday. Keep killing it, man. You made your debut in the USA in 2012, man. You got a great career ahead of you, man. If you see yourself in WWE, man, hey, it's going to work out. It's going to work out pretty fine. But I thank you for joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, and good luck up in your matchup. I know you probably don't need it, man, but good luck in your match against Suicide and First Time EVERRR, man. So appreciate you joining me on the podcast. But you guys, man, coming up right after the break, you guys, I'm going to talk to my guy, Malcolm, man. He's the host, man, the creator of the YouTube channel, Malcgoolie, man. He's going to be sitting chatting with me, man, about the WWE Network sale. All excited. WWE Network sale. We're going to talk some Raw, man, some SmackDown, some Royal Rumble picks, all that more, man. So you guys, man, stick with me, man, throughout the commercial break. And we'll be right back here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Yo, you guys, welcome back here to the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Appreciate you guys sticking with me throughout the break, you guys. But I want to shout out my guest who was just on, my guy, Franco Varga. Appreciate you joining me on the 1130 podcast, man. It was a great time chatting it up with you. But you guys, man, like I was saying, my next guest here, coming from Indianapolis, Indiana, you guys, my guy, Malcolm. He's the host of the YouTube channel, you guys, of Malcgoolie. He just runs some, reactions, give his thoughts on WWE wrestling in general, man. He's here to chop it up. We had some dope conversations, man. So, two wrestling guys about to, have it up, man. Let's talk pro wrestling. But my man Malcolm, man, what's going on with you, bro?
I'm doing well. I'm doing blessed. Happy that I'm off. Happy it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday, y'all. And thank God, because this little Royal Rumble weekend.
Yeah, man. It's Royal Rumble weekend. It's going down. It's going down, man. But for everybody who's joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling this week, for everybody who's not familiar with you or don't know you, you might introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, first off, name is Malcolm, and my YouTube channel is called Malcgoolie, and I'm also a part of the Spotlight Sports Network. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Malcgoolie, and if you don't know how to spell it, it's Malcgoolie. And for all you Chicago listeners out there, when you think of Malcgoolie, take the Malc out and put spin in, then you'll see, I see what he did there. But yeah, also subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Network, because I also do a lot of content over there when it comes to, here's the thing, I may live in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I love the Bears and I love the Bulls. So I kind of love the city of Chicago, because I used to live in Gary, Indiana back in the day. And it's just 5 minutes away to Chicago, even though I wish it was a part of Illinois, but nah, it's a part of Indiana. Moved here in Indy around like 2007, and well, you can just say the rest is history there. But yeah, I've been a wrestling fan since 1998-ish, 9-ish. I think it's 9-ish because I remember, the Raw after Survivor Series 1999, when Stone Cold Steve Austin got ran over by in a car. I think everybody can remember that. And also got into wrestling thanks to my mother. The first ever wrestling video game I've ever played was WWF Warzone for the PlayStation 1, which I still have to this day. So I am a collector of wrestling and a collector of video games as well, and comics. But yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I've been a wrestling fan since the same age, man, 99. And I remember it because I remember when Stone Cold got ran over. And when I was just coming in, I heard of Stone Cold. I know he was this big badass guy, but I didn't really see him too much in the ring. And it was always that the teaser, especially April 2000 Backlash was here in DC. I wanted to go so bad. I was just 9 years old. Mom, can I go? And I went over my grandmama's house when she was here and living, rest her soul. And we went over there, man, and we saw that, and that pay-per-view just stuck out. Not only it was here in DC, but the fact that Stone Cold popped in at it at the end, and of course The Rock beat Triple H is just just so much, man. And then obviously when Stone Cold came back, you started to see what was the hype about this guy. But man, it's awesome. It's really awesome. But man, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast this week, man. Hey, like I be saying, man, I be in a lot of Facebook groups, man, and just connecting and networking with different people is so dope. That networking with you, and I was like, man, we shoot it off, really cool, just all the things about wrestling and stuff. So it's really great somebody recommended you, and it's always cool. People be recommending me for other people posting, so I thought it was dope, man. And I reached out to you, and hey, we about to talk some wrestling, man. And the headline news in wrestling this week is WWE selling is network. I we got to have this conversation, man. What's your thoughts on WWE and selling a network?
Well, first off, selling the network at first I thought was a horrible idea. I was at work and I was at lunch, and I was like, oh my God, Vince, you just couldn't really NBC. But to be honest, looking at it now, and I even made a community post on my YouTube channel, and everybody's 50-50 on it. And I'm not going to say that the people that say, oh, it was a bad deal was wrong. And I'm not going to say people, oh, this was the right move was wrong. Either way, it was one of those decisions. Well, Vince McMahon, being the businessman that he is, personally for me, my little 2 cents on the Peacock situation, it's really a win for Peacock in a way. Because let's be real, cable is changing. It's all about streaming now. It's all about streaming services, and NBC, the NBC they were getting their butts kicked by the following networks. I think you all heard of them: Netflix, YouTube TV, Tubi, all these other streaming services, Disney Plus, and they wanted to get a part of that crave, and they were losing, and then they reached out to Vince. Vince made that deal that was worth $1 billion, Mr. Evil, Dr. Evil. But a multi-year deal, personally for me, is a win for Peacock. Is it an L for the WWE? In a way, kinda in a way. Because well, for people that subscribe to the network, they have to pay $9.99 before tax, like myself. For me to have to go to subscribe to another, stream service that I don't really use. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of NBC. Not for kind of for personal reasons. I mean, the only shows I would probably watch on NBC for a streaming service. I don't know if you guys remember this, even though it lasted for a season. Remember when NBC decided to make a superhero show called The Cape, starring Keith David? It was entertaining, the writing was cool, and the action was cool. It only lasted for one freaking season. And I was like, really? Really, NBC? Really? And then there was also another show I would watch is Meet the Carmichaels, and that show was hilarious with David Allen Greer and Loretta Devine. And those are the only two shows I would watch. I mean, I would watch The Office here and there, mostly to watch the episode of the No, God, please, no. Okay, something like that. But now, being part of wrestling, the last time, if I can remember correctly, the last time NBC posted something for WWE, I was gonna say Saturday Night's Live main event, but until my brain popped up and it said, you know what? Then they did a lot of tribute to the troops as well, not just Saturday Night Live. But also another thing too, and I also said this on many people at work and on my YouTube channel, I would not be surprised if Vince McMahon and the USA Network or the USA Network literally kicks Vince out of the USA Network, and actually we would see Monday Night Raw on NBC. And for me, for it's a win because SmackDown's on basic TV. NBC is a basic network, so having both Raw and SmackDown on basic would be great for those who can't afford cable. So it's more of a win, even though personally I still think WWE kind of took the L. Because if you also read about this, it was also the time, I think right on the mid of Monday Night Raw, ESPN cut their deal with the WWE. I'm pretty sure ESPN wanted the WWE Network to be a part of ESPN Plus. And personally, I thought that would be a better deal. I mean, wrestling is a sport. And yes, there's a lot of people who say, oh, wrestling is not a sport. It is a sport, folks. It's physical and it's mental. It is a sport.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. As far as the Peacock situation, I heard that anybody who had the subscription to the WWE Network, it will be automatically switched over to the Peacock jump. So I don't think anybody will have to necessarily maybe go sign up annually again.
Thank God. I don't want to do all of that. So I'm basically going to be paying $9.99. Because I'm letting you know right now. I know people say, oh, they're going to do the $5 one. That's cool if you got patience. Me, I hate commercials. I don't want to see ads. I'm sorry, unless it's about PlayStation 5, then maybe I'll watch an ad.
Yeah. But me personally, though, when the network came out in 2014, the only thing I said what would legitimize the network, in my opinion, was ads. Regular ads that you would maybe see on TV, a Geico ad, a Progressive ad, or whatever it is. The network been losing so much money. And yes, I think it's an L for the company in a way by going to NBC. We were talking about it. You thought it was, phony in a way in a little bit. I don't know, especially when now that they pay-per-views are going to air on the network. I think it take a lot of creative freedom, especially with the pay-per-views that they do. And then, they having their own network, it takes away that. And then they got to worry about, what NBC thinks and et cetera, et cetera. Do I think Vince McMahon is just going to, stand there and get kicked to the curb by NBC? No, not really. To see what he does, it's his father's company, it's his baby. He is going to do anything he got to do to kind of like hold on to it. I really would love to see if Triple H can take control of it, because by God, look what he's doing with NXT. Obviously, NXT is not, well accepted around the world because, it's originally it's WWE's developmental. Now it's their third brand now, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts on Triple H trying to, taking over the company and the direction, to go from there?
Well, for the direction, I think everybody knows, I think Vince is going to die in the chair. He's not going to give that up. I mean, personally, he does need to step down because there has been so many decision makings that he has made. I'm not going to name them all, but like I've said so many times, there's a difference between the character and the human being and the businessman. But Triple H taking over, I would love it personally. But to be honest, him running it, I can't see. I mean, I can see it, but personally, I would love it if Shane ran the company, because there's been the talk for so many superstars. I don't think no superstar, to my knowledge, has ever said anything negative about Shane. A lot of people say that Shane is more hands-on with talent. Remember, this is Shane McMahon is the same McMahon that wanted to get away from his father. He wanted to start his own business, which he has. And there was a time where he wanted to buy ECW when ECW was about to close its doors. This is the same Shane that told his daddy, hey, let's get UFC before UFC becomes a thing. And Vince didn't do it. And look what UFC has become today.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I mean, I would love it if both Triple H and Shane would run it. Knowing Shane and Hunter would probably look at it in the more, not in the writing sense, but he would literally be fair for the talent sense. Shane, on the other hand, can be there for just, the same with Triple H with talent, but at the same time, stories as well. Because let's be real, Shane is entertaining. Personally, one of my favorite out of all the McMahons, Shane. Then there's Steph and, Vince and all. But yeah, would love if Triple H would run it, but if he had Shane helping him out, which I think Shane, personally, him and Triple H both as a tag team can do it. But yeah, it would be something. I think there was a video made by Fun Parts Unknown. I hope I said that right. They actually did a how to book if Vince McMahon the day he, not died, but the day he's, stepped down. And it was a pretty entertaining video too. And personally, I think it should be the way how they booked it, but WWE, they'll find a way to book it in their own sense, in their own writing, something like that. But yeah, Triple H running it, Shane running it, just those two alone. Please, for the love of God, don't let Stephanie run it. Or Linda, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Please no.
Yeah, Shane will be interesting. Shane will be very, very interesting. I remember when he returned back in, I believe it was 2016, and the reception that he got, man, just blew the roof off the building in Detroit. So,
I was screaming. I was like, Shane's back!
Yeah.
Shane's back!
Yeah, man. And Shane was always the cool McMahon, whether, he was a bad guy or, which way did he go? It don't even matter. Shane was always kind of like the cool McMahon. And his latest creation, Raw Underground. How did you like that?
Raw Underground, I liked it. At first, it was something, it was new. I mean, watching people, basically a WWE version of underground fighting, illegal fighting was cool. You had babes that were literally, you know, strip teasing, which was cool. I'm like, yeah, we need more of this. We need more of it. And then it died. I'm like, oh my God. We need more Raw Underground. I was a little upset that they stopped. I'm like,
Yeah.
And then plus, you also got to blame some of the parents because they said, oh, why is there girls? I'm like, oh my God. We'll get to that.
Hey,
shortly.
man,
I've said that so many times.
It's a PG company, man. So, you know, they're going to get everything.
Rated company.
Yeah, they're going to get everything thrown at them, man. Everything. But, you guys, man, we're going to move on here on Talk Pro Wrestling. The Royal Rumble is coming up this Sunday, you guys. It's going to be one hell of an interesting Royal Rumble this year, of course. The first Rumble, you know, without fans, and we're going to see how this goes. We experienced WrestleMania last year without fans, but it wasn't in the WWE Thunderdome. This one is, but still without fans. We're going to see how this one goes. We're going to do some picks, man. Who you got? Who you got for the Rumble?
For the Royal Rumble, for the men's or the women?
The men's. I guess we can start. Actually, ladies first. We're going to start with the women.
Okay, for the women, you know, at first, I'm not going to lie. Traveling back to tables, ladders, and chairs, I understand that it was Lana's storyline, but personally, I thought having Charlotte come back at TLC was a little bit too early. Personally, I think she could have came back at the Rumble and won the thing, but now that she's back, my thoughts on Charlotte are very, but that's a different time for a different day. But for me, I think the only two people I can see winning this Rumble is either Bianca Belair, because I'm sorry, I would love to see Bianca versus Sasha. That story can write itself. They're basically the same, well, not the same superstar, the same character. It's just one's more, you know, one's Sasha and the other one is Bianca. You know, like one is the EST of WWE, the other one is the boss of the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, and this might surprise all of you, I think WWE does it. It's time. And, you know, we haven't seen her since, you know, her final match. Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley winning the Rumble. And I am not going to lie, I would really love to see Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. That match alone. Oh, and right the wrong. Have if you want to add Charlotte, even though they shouldn't, but you know, having Asuka versus Rhea Ripley would be a great WrestleMania match. It really would. I mean, this is the same. I mean, Rhea Ripley, when she beat Shayna Baszler for the championship, the crowd was lit. They were into it. Like, I like Rhea. She can cut a good promo. She's fantastic in the ring. And that theme. Oh my God, that theme song. This is my brutality.
Yeah.
But yeah, having Rhea win would really help. And Asuka versus Rhea would be a really good match. And I would love if Rhea had her WrestleMania moment and, you know, win the Raw title. Even though last year she lost it to Charlotte, which I kind of didn't agree with. But, you know, it is what it is. And I would love for her to get her redemption. I mean, what a way to make yourself notice. You win the Royal Rumble and you're on your way to WrestleMania.
Yeah, you're right, man. You are right. Far as Bianca goes, man, winning the Royal Rumble, that'll be great. That'd be great. Did you check out her Chronicle on the network?
Unfortunately, I saw a little bit of it. I think I saw the part where when she was getting called up to Raw. And that was a good moment. I still have to rewatch it. Try to rewatch it when I have the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks interesting. And I think there was a part where she also said, find somebody who is weird. And obviously she's talking about her husband, Montez Ford. Great talent, by the way. Beautiful frog splash. I got to say, probably one of those superstars that has a beautiful frog splash. But yeah, Bianca. And also that, what was it? The obstacle course. For Bianca to pick up Otis with no problem.
Yeah, man. She did it with no problem.
She scared me.
Yeah, she did that with no problem, man. No problem. The reason why I mentioned the documentary because Charlotte, was giving her a reaction to her or her thoughts more so, and just they're like how you said they are like identical, and Sasha wanted Charlotte, wanted to stay far away from Bianca Belair as possible because they're gonna have magic, they're gonna do their thing. Bianca is a choice, in my opinion. She's gonna be great. I would just say maybe don't win the Rumble, maybe after
Use like an
WrestleMania.
elimination chamber.
Um, maybe so, maybe not. I would say maybe after WrestleMania, have her have a good match. Have a good match at WrestleMania. It's going to kill it, whether she lose or win. More so lose, because everybody is going to be so behind her. Everybody's going to be loving it, and if she winds up, winning a gauntlet match or whatever type of match, fatal four-way match, triple threat, to come number one contender, win it, and lose it at the next pay-per-view, then so many people is going to be even more behind her, and she's going to take off. Charlotte, came back too soon, in my opinion. I think she should have came back at the Royal Rumble, but then I was saying Sasha came back too soon. When the whole storyline between Bayley and Sasha went down, I was like, why is Sasha here?
I thought that was going to be our WrestleMania match. I was like, they're really going to give Bayley a 2-year title reign, almost a 2-year title reign.
Yeah,
but WWE couldn't wait, but I'm not going to say waiting is a bad thing or a good thing, because and I've said this so many times. You can do a long storyline. You just it's up to the writers to keep making it fresh and fresh and fresh. Look what they did with Shield.
Yeah, you're right.
It was fresh when they were feuding with each other.
Yeah, quick thought. I just want to say though, because I had a guy on the show a couple of weeks ago. He said one thing you just reminded me of. He was like, sometimes it's the fans who are changing the stories up. It's the fans, because the fans will go on social media and say, oh, man, we don't want this. I don't want this. But you guys were cheering and, crying for him. And we want this guy, but now you don't want him. So, that's why they go ahead and rewrite the show X amount of times before it airs, and et cetera like that. Because why? The fans. So it's a good and a bad, of course, why the fans ain't there. But in a way, because the guys get
to, social media.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it hurt. It hurts some wrestlers, and it hurts some of the talent having the internet, that God undefeated internet, more undefeated than Undertaker's wrestling streak, WrestleMania streak.
Yeah, you're right about you.
Yeah, the internet will always be undefeated. It doesn't matter what it is, but and when it's funny when you say that, because me and my colleagues. We're talking about this, and a lot agree with me, some didn't, and that's cool. It's like a debate. Like when Roman Reigns, his first push is a prime example. They weren't ready for it. WWE was ready, but the fans weren't ready. Because let's be honest, let's be real. Out of all the people out the Shield, why did Roman have to keep the theme, and why did Roman have to keep the Shield stuff? That's the only thing fans were like, what? And then also, let's also be real. I love Daniel Bryan, and I love Roman Reigns too. But the fans were still pro Daniel Bryan. They still had that WrestleMania 30 magic still in them. And nobody wanted to see, and I'm gonna be one of those people. I know all of you wanted to see Brock versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 31, me, not so much. I did not want to see that, because personally, it would be a great storyline. It's just the fact that Daniel Bryan just came back from neck surgery. And if Brock somehow, some way, make that boy land on his neck, not only you're going to deal with an Aaron Drozoff situation, but you're also going to have a situation where Brock Lesnar will be the most hated man in wrestling history. More hated. I don't know.
Question
not
though.
even as a character, but as a human being.
Yeah, question though. Which match was more dangerous? Because he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, the
You
Money in
know?
the Bank ladder match. Yeah, he was in that. It was a little bit dangerous, and it was. I don't know why, but it was a multi-man match. I'm pretty sure all of those who were involved were probably told strictly, don't hurt Daniel that much.
Yeah.
But then also, I think it was an episode of SmackDown where he got, hurt, and Sheamus injured him, and he came back looking like a great white shark, which looked pretty badass. But of course, the fans say, "You look stupid." I'm like, he doesn't look stupid, guys. He looks like a freaking killer shark.
Yeah.
He looked like a killer shark, and killer sharks are awesome. Have you not seen Jaws?
Yeah, you are right, man. You're all right. But for Royal Rumble predictions, man, I said I'm going to go with Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, it's not everybody picked. No one probably would pick her. I just thought it was odd. Maybe I think the last 2 weeks on SmackDown that she was in kind of the main segment with Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman, and the fact that she wasn't excused from that segment, I thought stood out in a way. And she's supposed to be playing some type of, I guess, assistant to Adam Pearce. So I guess sucking up in a way. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to go with Alexa. A lot of people are going to go with Bianca. I think Sonya Deville will be a sleeper pick, and she's good. As far as the men's side, you just mentioned Daniel Bryan, how he was talking about how he never won a Royal Rumble match, and I was just hearing somebody's predictions. If Daniel Bryan win, which sounded really good. Because
it does sound good if Daniel wins it. There's a lot for the men's. There's a lot who can win that one.
Yeah, the story, behind the fact that how you was just saying how everybody was still pro Daniel Bryan, and I think this is Daniel Bryan's last run before he go
still are.
Yeah, and he's going. That story would be great because it would reflect off of back then how he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, and was supposed to have been him, and you got Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. So I think it will all just fit in perfectly. So
I would freak out if Daniel won. Personally, I love Daniel Bryan. And I should be kicking myself in the head because I like the WWE version of Daniel Bryan, but then when someone turned me on to his Ring of Honor days, I just wanted to slap myself. I'm like, this dude is freaking phenomenal in ROH. He was very phenomenal. The American Dragon. But Sonya Deville is a sleeper pick. That would be something. I mean, it would be something. But her and Sasha, that would really be something. But I don't know. To each his own. I don't think Sonya would win the thing. But as long as they don't do the stupid thing, please, for the love of God, don't have Charlotte win this damn thing.
Yeah,
please,
I mean,
but if they do, it's Asuka versus Charlotte. I mean, and if you do that, right the wrong. And I know somebody's gonna say they righted the wrong on Raw. Yes. They right the wrong on Raw, but they didn't right the wrong at WrestleMania. Personally, I still go by this. Charlotte should have not been the one to beat Asuka. It could have been somebody else. But you had to do Charlotte. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right, man. It didn't have to be Charlotte, man. She already got the name.
She was already established.
Yeah, she's already established.
Out of all the 4 horsewomen, if you really I'm gonna do a little quick ranking, then we'll get back to the predictions. Oh God, ranking of the 4 horsewomen when it comes to accomplishments, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, "What? How is she number 1?" Number 1 is Bayley. Let's be real. Bayley is the first ever women's Grand Slam for the women for that company. She's won the Raw. She won the SmackDown. She won NXT. She won the tag team. And she was established when she was, that the wrestling fan. And then when they turned her heel, which was a good thing, Even though I wish they would do a little bit more with that character, but they did all what they could do with her SmackDown title run. The second most established, well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The second established is Charlotte. I know a lot of people would think Charlotte would be number one, but Charlotte, out of all the four horsewomen, is the last. Was almost the last person to not win the tag team belts. But now, then there's Becky being 3, and I know a lot of people say, why is Becky not 1? Why is Becky not 2? I go by championship and accomplishments. The only thing Becky has not won yet is the women's tag team titles. And then there's Sasha. But accomplishment wise, Becky is lower in accomplishments. And I'm not saying Becky is bad because she is established.
Yeah, she's
she
really
was a man, for God's sakes.
Yeah, she's really established though. I mean, I like that, because I don't know how you would rank that because Bayley, even though with Charlotte, it's main event at WrestleMania. What bigger accomplishment can you get from that one right there?
Yeah, that's true. Charlotte did, and so did Becky. But it is really hard to judge it now. I think about it.
But I do agree. I do agree. I didn't agree with WWE naming Sasha Banks the female superstar of the year. It was actually Bayley. She was the champion
for the longest reign.
She was doing it better, just killing it. So in my opinion, it was Bayley. Bayley had the best year of 2020. So I mean, yeah.
Now, out of all the four horsewomen, and now it's time for Sasha. Now, I'm not saying Sasha's not established. She's not. Well, she is established, but she had only one kink to her armor. She could barely hold on to the freaking belt.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Now Vince is literally giving her this good title run. I'm not gonna lie, Sasha's title run so far has been entertaining. I don't care what anybody says. It's been entertaining. And hopefully she keeps that belt. I don't want Mella to win that belt. No disrespect to Mella. But also you got to think outside the four horsewomen, then there's Asuka. Asuka, is the second Grand Slam? There's Asuka, then there's Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then also Alexa Bliss. Personally, I really wish, and I don't know what it was, a Survivor Series. I don't know what year. Personally, when Alexa Bliss took on Charlotte, I really wanted Bliss to win because if you think about it, she beaten Bayley. She beat Sasha. She beat Becky. If she would have beaten Charlotte, she could be the only woman in WWE to say, hey, I beat all four horsewomen. That this company says that this is the next big thing to the women's revolution. I mean, they still can do it, but if they make Charlotte champion, then let Bliss be the one to take it off her. I don't think that's the only person Bliss has not beaten is Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. That's something to really think about. Really think about. So yeah, man. For the men's side of it, I think I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan on it. I know I said Big E, but since we're close to the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna make my final prediction for the men's, and I'm gonna go with Big E. I mean, excuse me, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan. Who do you have?
For the men, there's so many. There's so many. And when we do our pick, and when I do my picks and predictions later on in the evening, I think me and my colleagues, we're gonna cheat because we're gonna pick the top 3. I probably might do top 5 at this point. Number 5 could be Shinsuke Nakamura for me. It'd be great for them to right the wrong what they did over 3 years ago. A lot of people also said Sheamus. I thought that's what they were gonna do, Sheamus versus Drew at the Rumble, but I'm like, wait a minute, this is more of a WrestleMania match if you think about it. If the right story. Another one would be Daniel Bryan. The other one would be, oh my God, after watching Raw, my nostalgia, Edge. If Edge, because Edge and Daniel Bryan, I'm gonna make this one prediction. Your final 4 for this Royal Rumble will be Edge, Daniel Bryan, Big E, and I'm gonna have to go with Cesaro as your final four for this year's Royal Rumble.
That's interesting.
Because Edge and Daniel Bryan's story are so similar. Daniel Bryan never winning the Royal Rumble and wants to main event WrestleMania because I think this is the final ride. I think this is going to be Daniel Bryan's final run with the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then you got Edge, the man who never lost the belt to begin with. Oh, like what? How many years is this? Like what?
This was like
11 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah.
11 years ago? Ooh, this is hard. I wish there was two winners. Let's get two winners in this thing. But personally, I would love for Big E to do it. I would love for Keith Lee to be one. But after watching Raw, darn my nostalgia, I'm going with Edge. Okay. Edge versus Drew.
Okay.
Or they might swerve us. They might do Edge versus Roman. Spear versus Spear.
Yeah, they may. We're gonna see what they do, man. We're gonna see. That's what's up. That's what's up, you guys. But we're gonna move on here on the podcast, man, from the Royal Rumble, because it's going down this Sunday, you guys. We're gonna recap some Raw and SmackDown before we roll on out of here, you guys. We're gonna start with SmackDown, because SmackDown's the hottest right now. Would you like to see more intergender wrestling matches?
Yes, I do.
Between men and women, not just, men versus men, women versus women, and tag team matches.
We need that. I mean, I know in the Attitude Era, they kind of did it a little bit with China. Remember, this is also, I know a lot of you young folks probably don't remember this, but these old dogs that you're hearing right now do. There was a time at SummerSlam 1999, China was supposed to be the one to defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin and win the World Wrestling Federation title. WWE was actually going to do that. And to me, to this day, I think they're going to do it somewhere down maybe in the next 3 to 4 years. I can actually see a woman holding the Universal or the WWE Championship. I can actually see that happening. Who else? ECW had, I wouldn't say they didn't have any intergender matches, but they had mostly like segments. I mean, you had Rhino pile driving Lori Fullington, the Sandman's wife, through a table, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Speared right through a table. But yeah, I would love for more intergender matches, because that match between Sasha and Reginald was actually good. Reginald showed me a little something. The brother showed me a little something.
Yeah, he did. That was really a good match. Really, really athleticism, and I was surprised with it. I was like, he putting Sasha over, and Sasha's putting him over at the same time. So it was really good. What's your thoughts on Billy Kay?
Oh God, Billy Kay. Billy. Billy, I know you probably won't hear this, but I think you're one of a beautiful woman. Not gonna lie, probably in the top 15. But I don't know what they're trying to do with you. I mean, ever since they broke up the Iconics, I know it's called Iconics, but okay, I'm gonna say it because nobody else can't say it. Lay Cool 2.0. They don't know what to do. They really don't. And it's the same with Peyton Royce as well. They don't. I mean, well, Peyton was in a tag team with Lacey Evans, and that didn't really go anywhere. Now Lacey is playing Meredith Blake off the Parent Trap with Ric Flair. Disturbingly gross.
It's crazy though. It's crazy. Peyton Royce is actually not doing much at all. Billy Kay is not doing much neither though, but
it's to the point where I think it's to the point, send them back to NXT at this point. If you are not gonna do nothing with them, put them back to NXT. But at the same time, yeah, do it. Why not? I mean, I like Billy Kay. I mean, she's cool, but you know what? If you don't want to put her into I guess like a resume, why not let her be a manager? And the perfect person who can have her manage, it would work. King Corbin. What's a king without his queen? Think about that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
King Corbin, Queen K.
Yeah,
that's
interesting. I would have liked to see that. Shinsuke Nakamura. You mentioned Shinsuke Nakamura a couple of weeks ago. He won that gauntlet match, which had everyone talking. He got his old theme song back. So he's the baby face now, and he's no longer with Cesaro. I mean, they've been teaming up a little here and there, but he's back on his role. I feel as though, and I believe that Shinsuke Nakamura deserves a WWE Championship match at Fastlane or Elimination Chamber. He did beat the guys in the gauntlet match until Roman and Paul Heyman brought out Adam Pearce. We're gonna get to Adam Pearce in just a bit, but I think Shinsuke Nakamura deserved that one-on-one match with Roman Reigns.
Yes, it does too. And I think I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I followed him through NXT, and I followed him from his New Japan Pro days. Oh my God, that match with him and AJ. But I think WWE should right the wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna be one of these fans and say, oh, WWE has buried Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm not gonna come up there and say that, because there's a definition of the word misused and buried. Shinsuke has been misused. He's not been buried. Because if he was buried, if you exclude out NXT, so a SmackDown Tag Team title reign doesn't mean anything. A U.S. title reign doesn't mean anything. An Intercontinental Championship reign doesn't mean anything. How is Shinsuke ever buried? Now, I can understand where the fans are saying what happened at Mania, but that's still not enough. I mean, I think they put the U.S. title on him right after that feud with AJ. It's just, I'm happy that Shinsuke got his clean back, even though I kind of like the theme with words.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more badass. And personally, and also for the company, we've seen a lot of Americans and British, England, but I would love if WWE would actually put hand over, have the face of the company be, of Japanese descent. I guess you can say Asuka for the women so far for Raw, but as a company as a whole, I mean, having Shinsuke be the poster boy of your company would not hurt. But thanks to a certain a-hole by the name of Vince Russo, who said, and I quote, Japanese superstars will never get over in America, which is a lie, because have anybody forgotten the Great Muta? A legend, the Great Muta, Tajiri, Taka Michinoku, look what he's doing now in New Japan. It just breaks my heart that some people actually think that, oh, Japanese superstars will never get over in America. What? No.
That's crazy. Nah, man. So yeah, they should right the wrong. I think Shinsuke Nakamura should get his title match leading up to this road to WrestleMania. We're gonna move on here, you guys, on Talk Pro Wrestling Monday Night Raw, man. A lot of people are having a hard time trying to stay through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, man. I'm not gonna lie, ever since the pandemic hit, man, especially in the beginning, it was very hard to watch. Now, it's still difficult. I was always a Monday Night Raw guy. I was always, I was Team Red. A lot of people like the SmackDown, and I like the SmackDown too. Raw was my thing because it was live, it was in your face, it was there, For the last some years, been 3 hours, haven't been too great, it had decent Raws and you have its bad ones. And it seems like now they're just recycling talent on the 3 hour shows now with the pandemic. You go wrestle this match, or you just had Matt Riddle take on the entire Hurt Business. So I was just like, why? And the opening to Monday Night Raw was, I believe, a 6-woman tag team match. I actually started with Shayna and I think with Charlotte.
Charlotte, Charlotte.
Yeah, ended in a DQ. Then they did the tag team match. That did
the match.
Yeah, so I was
and
just
then
like,
Eagles won.
yeah. And I'm just like, that's just a waste. That's just a waste
of
time.
What we're basically saying, folks, is Raw is 3 hours too damn long. Go back to making it 2 hours, for God's sakes. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Last Raw, not this Raw, the Go Home show. Personally, I think the Go Home show was way better than what the hell they gave us last week. Oh my God. I think it was my first time streaming Raw in over maybe 3 months, because I was still working 2 jobs. But oh my God, what I watched, I was like, what in the world? What has happened?
Yeah, man. What is happening? What is happening? A good thing that happened on Monday Night Raw that I did not notice of was Randy Orton's face.
Yes.
After when they showed him, I had to watch it back, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, because I was so surprised and shocked that he RKO'd Alexa Bliss, which was dope.
I wasn't, because I've been saying on my live stream so many times, if Randy's going to RKO Bliss somewhere down the road, he's going to cost Bliss huge. And he did. He cost her the Raw Women's title. And I'm going to say right now, I'm not trying to sound, sexist or anything like that, but when Randy Orton RKO's a lady, it's pretty freaking hilarious.
It's awesome, actually. I love when
it's hilarious and it's awesome at the same time.
I love when he RKO'd Nia Jax.
Oh, when he RKO'd Nia, I just love the fact that all the men in that Royal Rumble did not know what to do. They pulled a Deadpool. They pulled a Deadpool. If you remember this scene from Deadpool, this is confusing. Is it sexist to hit you? Is it sexist not to hit you? It's so confusing. Randy, on the other hand, gave no. He just RKO'd her for the hell of it. And then Dolph was like, okay, super kick.
I know, right?
Then Ray do a 619.
That was awesome.
Nia took a beating. For Nia to take not 1, not 2, but 3 finishers. And I know a lot of people don't like Nia Jax. I get that. And personally, I think they should send her not to NXT, but to back into training. But yeah, deep down, I kind of like Nia Jax as the person. Wrestling wise, she needs to get back retrained. I think they brought her back way too soon. Personally, she could have came back for the Rumble, because if memory serves me, didn't she tear both ACLs on both legs? So yeah, and that's another thing too. But Randy, when what was the one first RKO that he did? When he RKO'd Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah, I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh my God, he just RKO'd 2 old ladies. When he RKO'd Stacy Keibler, I was like, oh, you just RKO'd the most hottest woman with them legs.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I think out of all the RKO of the women that he RKO, Alexa Bliss is probably number 2, but number 1 has to be Stephanie. When he RKO'd Stephanie, I was like, not once, but twice. I'm like, and then kissed Stephanie while Triple H was handcuffed.
Yes, I remember that. That was awesome.
That let me know right there. I'm like, Orton is going to die at WrestleMania 25. He is going to die.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy. What's your thoughts on Goldberg returning?
When Goldberg returned, I was like, Goldberg. Okay, I love Goldberg, I do, but I don't want him to win that title. Let Drew have his moment. Let Drew have his moment. Please. Don't have Goldberg win the damn thing. Drew should still, his title reign. When he beat Brock, I was happy. I was literally happy, because I'm not I like Brock. Well, let me rephrase that. I respect Brock Lesnar from 2002 to 2004. I don't like the Brock Lesnar that they have been advertising from us for the last, was it 3 to 4 years? I can't really remember. He came back 2011. So 2011, 2012. I think it was 2012. I don't know. The year that John Cena had that slope, I think it was 2012. So around maybe
2012.
So about maybe 8 years, 8, 9 years. I did not like that Brock, because Brock could wrestle, and a lot of people fail to realize that. Like, Brock can wrestle, but here is like suplex, F5, suplex, F5, Kimura. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all know this dude can do more than just do all that, right? I mean, the Suplex City thing it was entertaining, it was, but him beating the crap out of Cena was entertaining, but let's also be real. Let's get it out the way. I did not agree of him beating the streak. I literally almost threw my computer in frustration and rage, because personally, if you're going to break the Undertaker's streak, let a young guy do it. Let a young cat do it. Yet a young guy that you can have a historic career do it. If you were going to break it with a part-time superstar, why? Personally, out of all the people that could have broken the streak, the following people should have done it. Shawn Michaels, at that time, Triple H, the other one, Randy Orton, at the time, and then CM Punk. I thought Punk was CM Punk beating the streak. That would have been cool. Already established. Already had that 434-day title reign. Why not establish him as a superstar, as a legend in the making, beating the streak?
Yeah, you're right.
And even Kane has come out and said that having Roman beat Taker at WrestleMania 33, I hope, am I correct? It was 33, right? Not 30.
Yes.
It was 33. Personally, they said Roman Reigns should have beat the streak. And that, personally, I agreed with.
Yeah,
Roman Reigns could have beaten it. That would have. Bray Wyatt could have beaten it. And you know what? Even though the match was hilariously funny, John Cena at that time, a lot of people thought John Cena was going to break it. For me, I was like, that would make sense. I mean, he's the poster boy, but now looking at it now, I'm like, nah, don't let Cena do it. He already has enough hate on his belt to begin with. Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
If you're going to do something, guys, for all you young writers and that wants to get into the business, build up your talent. You got a lot of young talent in your pool. Hence, a good example is Keith Lee. Having Keith Lee beat Randy Orton at Payback was genius. It was genius. Now, if he would have beaten Drew McIntyre on Legends Night and that beautiful Spanish fly off the top rope, good God. Personally, WWE, you got a diamond in the rough in Keith Lee.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just gonna say, man, at the time, of course, Bray Wyatt, when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker, of course, Bray was having a feud with Cena. I said CM Punk should have beat him the year prior to him losing to Brock. It would have been a great addition because with Bray and The Undertaker's, similarities, that would have been great though. But of course, I was shocked. I was just like, why The Undertaker? But hey, why Brock Lesnar? But I see where they went. I see where they went at it. We're gonna wrap it up here just real quick. What's your thoughts on Retribution?
Oh God, Retribution. I love Mustafa Ali. Behold, the most worst wrestling names you could ever come up with for a group. Slapjack, Hockey Puck, Slapjaw. Oh my God.
Yeah, the names are crazy.
Those names were terrible. But personally, the Retribution angle, it's dead. It had potential, but it died. It literally died when, I don't know what happened. I think one of the wrestlers, I don't know. It's like the fans weren't invested. Nobody was invested. Nobody was invested. And that sucks for Mustafa Ali. It's really sucks for Mia Yim. I was not satisfied, but I didn't complain. I was just not satisfied how Mia Yim's, her first Raw match, she loses to Dana Brooke.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Whose cereal did she spit on to have that happen to her? I'm like,
Man,
How
that's
would you
crazy.
do that?
And it seemed like the only thing that they trying to save, well, I'm not gonna say trying to save, the only hope of anything of retribution is Mustafa Ali is feuding with Kofi Kingston. I say that is going to be probably the show stiller at WrestleMania. Most likely it's right there. Just go with it, WWE. Kofi versus Ali is great. I mean, the story is already written for themselves. I mean, Kofi, Ali
Kofi
Kofi's
basically took Mustafa Ali's spot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people also didn't know this either. That Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan storyline, that was supposed to be Mustafa Ali. That was his moment. Yeah, they were gonna put the belt on Mustafa Ali at that time, but he got hurt. So they said, "Oh God, what are we gonna do? Oh, let's put in Kofi." And you know what? To be honest, I'm kind of happy. I mean, I wasn't happy that Mustafa Ali got hurt. I was happy that Kofi got his moment. Personally, I thought it was 5 to 6 years overdue because of a spot that he messed up with Orton. But you know, that's how the way of the business is. But yeah, Retribution, to me, I think it's dead. But the only reason why it's still agging on is because of Mustafa Ali.
Okay. Real quick, 30 seconds though. What's your thoughts on AEW and NXT?
AEW, real fast with them. I'm happy that you're finally pushing Darby Allin and some of your younger talent. You guys should have did this in some kind of the beginning, especially after the year you guys been on. And as for NXT, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are making me have like I'm watching Combat Zone and ROH had a baby and it came out NXT.
I like that. I really, really like that, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you stopping past here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, man. It was a dope time, man. We got to do this again. But before you go, tell me about your YouTube channel, man. Tell my listeners about your YouTube channel, man.
Yes. If you guys want to subscribe, it really helps me out. It is Malcgoolie. I'll spell it one more time. It's MALCGOOLIE. You can also follow me on Twitter, the same hashtag. Well, not hashtag, but at Malcgoolie. And also Instagram at Malcgoolie as well. And also, I'm also doing more with my colleagues at the Spotlight Sports Network channel. So please subscribe to them as well, because I'll be on that channel a lot too when it comes to the Bears, the Bulls, and more of my other Chicago teams. Hopefully, real quick, because I'm happy I got a Chicago guy I'm looking at. But here's the thing. I'm now hearing that the Bears are actually going to make a move and get Deshaun Watson. If that happens, I have to make a video apologizing to my subscribers because I was one of those people saying he wasn't coming to Chicago. But now the Bears are going to actually put their bullets in the chamber and shoot. And if they somehow pull this off, I might have to go on camera and apologize and also cheer like a cheerleader on speed because we got a quarterback that we should have drafted 4 years ago.
And that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Any shout outs, man? Anything you'd like to say before you go?
Shout outs to well, first off, honor to God, but shout outs to my brother Darion from the Spotlight Sports Network, Jake Silva from the Snake Sports Talk, also my girl Key in the building, my boy Hammer, and also my brother EJ, who is my Colt analyst and one of my best friends outside of YouTube. So yeah, love you guys, shout you guys out, love you guys so much because we are still grinding because the grind is real.
Yeah, man, the grind is real. It is real, man. Malcolm, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, man. We got the Rumble coming up, man. I'm gonna stay in contact with you to see, who win the Rumble, man, and if you like it or not, man. So I appreciate it. We got to do this again, man. So once again, you guys, go subscribe to Malcgoolie, man. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow him. He's gonna do some live reactions and all that. So I said I was gonna, do my first live reaction for WrestleMania. So I think I'm gonna try that. And see where it goes. But Thank you, my guy. Thank you for joining me here on the podcast. It was a dope time chatting with you, man. Go Bears.
Yep, let's go Bears. Bear down, baby. Bear down. And Bulls Nation, let's go.
Yo, Malcolm, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. Man, it was a dope time chatting with you, man. Dope time chatting with you. The Royal Rumble picks and everything, man. So, yeah, man, Daniel Bryan, I got Daniel Bryan. You know, you got, a bunch of people, man. A bunch of people. Shinsuke, the right is wrong. Sheamus, yeah, man. So it's gonna be a very unique Royal Rumble and a very unique road to WrestleMania here in 2021, man. So you guys, man, go subscribe to Malcgoolie YouTube channel, man. He's gonna do some live reactions, reviews, predictions, all that good stuff, man. From wrestling to sports, go check him out. Dope time, my guy, chatting with you. Can't wait till you come back on the podcast. It's gonna be really, really dope, man. Really, really dope. Man. Dope week, dope episode, man. Dope episode. Once again, shout out to my guest who was on earlier in the podcast, Franco Varga. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for stopping past here on Talk Pro Wrestling. Man, you guys, man. Royal Rumble coming up. I want to hear you guys pick, man. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to me at, man. Hit me up on social media, all that good stuff, man. And tell me what you think, man, and what WrestleMania is looking like for you guys. But woo, dope show. But you guys, man, before I go, you guys, man, don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at Dre on Wheels. Follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, you guys, man, go ahead and subscribe to the 1130 podcast YouTube channel. Yes, like the video, leave a comment, share it, man. So we can get the 1130 podcast up and out there even more, closing and creeping up to 1K subscribers. So we're gonna do it big. And also for Talk Pro Wrestling, you guys, if you're listening to me on Spotify, don't forget to follow, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, man. And yeah, man, thank you guys for keep listening to me each and every week. We have 2,000 downloads, and let's keep it going, man. The 2,000 more downloads and beyond. So thank you guys for tuning in each and every week here on Talk Pro Wrestling. And if you would like to be a guest here on the podcast, email me. That's the 1130podcast@gmail.com. That's the 1130podcast@gmail.com. Man, dope episode, you guys. Dope episode chatting with you guys, man. But yo, I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here on out. Yo, this man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. And I'm out.